Welcome to Kung Fu number 2. And for now, this is the last video of tonight. I am going to piss, well, today. I'm sure I'll make some more after I get out the shower. And it's only like almost 4 o'clock. I need to watch me some Demon Slayer and some other shit. Anyway, this is for you parents out here. Right? Something that I will never be, unfortunately. I want to try to save you some problems so that your family doesn't wind up as fucked up as mine. And I had a talk, and she agrees with me to a degree, and I know most children will agree with me to a degree. So the problem is you motherfucking parents. That's right, I called you out. Y'all are the fucking problem. If you have 2 children, don't have a favorite. If you have 4 children, don't have a favorite. If you have 5 children, don't have a favorite. If you have 7 children, don't have a favorite. You see where we're going here? See, parents causes strife and unrest in families by one, not loving all their children equally, not treating all their children equally, not teaching all their children equally, not giving all their children equal amounts of love, respect, honor, and discipline. See, it's issues like this which leads to dysfunction. It's issues like this. Oh, I love my son more than I love my daughter. I love my daughter more than I love my son because we both are women and we experience the same things. I love my one son more than I love the other son. See, shit like that? That's what causes problems. If you can't love all of your children the same, then you should not be blessed to have children. For those who have children, this is specifically for you. I don't have children. I wanted them at one time, and now that ship has sailed because I'm 50 years old and it's just too fucking late. I don't want to marry a younger woman and give her children and then die, and now she's stuck with my kids and I can't support them from the fucking grave. Right? I would never do that to anybody. I would never do that. Now, if I was young and I had children, I died like because I served, or I died because something stupid happened on the set, or I got the job that I initially wanted as a child and then I got unalived or killed in the line of duty, that's a different ballgame. Because jobs like that, I don't get my military anything until I turn 60. So I have 10 years to survive to make sure that shit happens. Um, if you are in the military until your child's 18, once they prove it's your child, because people cheat, once they prove it's your child, because the military is going to prove that that's your child before they give them shit. If your wife is cheating and that child's not your child, that child does not get any of your military benefits. Not a goddamn drop. Not a drop. So even if you adopt that child's going to have some legal ramifications trying to get that shit in. Do not fact check that because things have probably changed by now. But like if you marry a woman who's already had a kid, I think there's loopholes for that. Especially if the kid that she has with you, even if she had a kid with someone else, the kid she had with you is your DNA connected child. They will take care of that child. This is how it was explained to me as I was leaving the military, because it's like you can't get your military benefits until you're 60, and there's only 2 possible ways that you can do that. And it's like, what? He's like, yeah, you can take it to court and fight, which will tie you up forever, or you can get a chick knocked the fuck up. And I looked at that motherfucking person and I said, you are out of your fucking mind. I don't need money that bad that I'm gonna get a chick pregnant and be stuck with her for the rest of my life so that I can have money that I'm never gonna see. And it's like, what? I said, I get her pregnant. The money's for the baby. It's not for me. I don't get a dime out that shit. Let's say I get her pregnant, you prove the baby's mine, and she decides, fuck you, I'm out. And she takes the baby. That money now goes directly to that baby's well being. I get 2%. And she's going to take me for every motherfucking dime. No, thank you. I would rather not have a baby just to collect the fucking check. That's a dick move. And if that girl decides to be a dick, then it's a double dick move because not only did I fuck myself, I fucked the child because the lady might not let me see the baby. And God knows that loophole's going to have to dig for that. So, understanding how this works and understanding now that I'm 50 and that ship has sailed. Oh, I love sex, but I ain't bringing home no babies. Fuck that shit. Any fucking how. Irrelevant. What is relevant is that I don't get military benefits until I'm 60 and I'm 50. So if I live long enough to get those benefits, because they fucked up my legs, so the benefits don't really kick in until I'm 60. Because even though they fucked me up, I didn't get to stay in the military the way I want to stay in the military, and I got an honorable discharge, but I don't get benefits until I'm 60 because when I got out, I was 20%. Because they dropped the ball at Fort Benning and didn't realize that my hip was fucked up. They said it was my knee, so they gave me 20%. So I took my 20% and I went the fuck on. You know, I don't have anything really bad to say about the Army except for don't forget the vets when we get out of the Army. Now, getting that out of the way, favoritism destroys lives. My father and I had this fight all the time because I've been on both sides of that track. All right? I've been on both sides of that track, and I have taught my father, no, that's not how this works. You have 4, 5 kids. You have to love them all the same. You have to give them all the same. You have to give everybody the same equally. I won that fight before he passed because we argued about the will and all that shit. But I also lost that fight because he's like, no, this is how this is going to be divided, and whether you like it or not, this is how it's working because me and this person here has set it up that way. So okay, so I didn't argue with him, but I made sure that all of my siblings, including my stepsister, got some money because it wasn't fair for me to get all of it. And my dad and I argued before we went down there and got the shit changed. We argued for about like 4 hours about that shit. Say, well, this is how I'm setting it up. I was like, no, that's not how you're setting it up. Because you're putting me in a fucked up ass position. You are going to give them something. You don't have to give them everything, but you are going to give them something. Because you're not going to have them hating my ass when you're gone. Because you set this bullshit up that I get everything and they get nothing. I said, nah, that's not how this works. I was like, why are you like this? I said, have you looked in the mirror? He's like, what's that mean? I said, you raised me right from wrong. You taught it to me for a very long fucking time. And since I was 12 years old, I've always been this way. When I stopped going to church and stopped telling lies, hey, right is right, wrong is wrong. Every now and again, you might find a thin gray line that you can probably balance on, but right is right and wrong is wrong. But you got to be morally right. On the other end of that, I have been the least favorite of the other parental unit. So I know how it feels to not be the favorite as well as to be the favorite. And the conclusion to that is, if you are a parent, you can't have favorites. You just can't. You are causing a problem for the people who only have each other, which are your children. Your children only have their siblings. That's it. Everyone else out here in the world is fixing to destroy them. And because you destroyed them from the inside out by having favorites, now they have no one. I want to end the video with that. Let that shit sit in. If you are a parent, if you are currently thinking of having children, you can't have favorites. You want a favorite? Then only have one child. Don't have two, only have one. Then there's equal playing field. They don't have to compete with anybody else. They don't have to argue with anybody else. There's just them. Understand? You have favorites. It can be only one child. If you want a favorite, only have one child. Whether it's a boy or a girl, that's your favorite. Cut it off right there. Only having one. When your legacy continues and no one has to fight. And that one child can accumulate all the generational wealth. And that child can decide if they want to have more than one child. And into that child, who was the favorite, who was the only child in that mix, it is your job to have children and not have a favorite. If you're an only child and you don't want your child to not have a brother or sibling because you grew up without a brother or sibling, but you had cousins, I'm going to give you the best advice that I can give you. If you're going to have more than one, you can't have favorites. If you're only going to have one, then you can have a favorite. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Comfy Havoc number 2. I hope I taught you guys something. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you guys after my shower, which will be way later tonight, and I'll be wearing something else because I have to wash my hair tonight and grease it. So, thanks for watching.